it's nonstop action, and you have to be super concentrated on what you're doing. And you have, I mean, you cannot really be so much nervous because your reaction have to be really quick. I mean, when you crash, you have to gas at the right time.
The Fred Minnick Show is brought to you by The Beeline, Michter's, and 291 Colorado Whiskey.
And joining the Fred Minnick Show on the Beeline Hotline, go to findyoursippingpoint.com to check out the bars in northern Kentucky and all the cool distilleries there. Cynthia Gauthier, how are you today, Cynthia?
I'm super good. It's getting cold in Canada, but I love the weather. There's a lot of cool color outside.
Now, do you ice fish?
I did. I actually did in Ontario. They had a really good place to do it, but I did not eat the fish.
So I was wondering, like, if you ice fish and you catch one, are you like obligated to like eat it like right then and there, or so like just eat it raw?
I actually put it back. I was more excited about the fire and the marshmallow and all that stuff.
And I know you like shooting guns and you like fishing, and so you're like an outdoors person. But you know, really, what you're known for, you are one of the best monster truck drivers of all time.
Yeah, I've been driving for Monster Jam for 6 years now. It's just been a big passion. It's been, I mean, it's my full-time job, but it's not really a job for me. It's really just having fun every time I do it.
Now, when you're driving on the road, do you ever get like frustrated that you can't run over cars?
Yeah, especially in the traffic. I wish I could drive over them. But actually, it's funny because I'm a really slow driver, like on the road. Like I feel like without the helmet, I don't feel like going fast or doing some crazy stuff. But when the helmet goes on, I'm out of control.
The helmet is like your ascot. Like you turn into a different person when you put the helmet on.
It is, and especially after a backflip, it's even worse. Like if I land a backflip or something cool, I did like a crash, came back on the four wheel. It felt like something in the head just touched, and I just get out of control.
Now, when you watch Monster Jam, it looks so dangerous. Like, how do you, like, what's it like inside the, I guess, like the driver's seat? Because I mean, I don't know how you survive some of those crashes, but it's like you come out and you're like jumping around, like, woo! I just crashed.
I mean, it's just like a UFC fight because it's nonstop action, and you have to be super concentrated on what you're doing. And you have, I mean, you cannot really be so much nervous because your reaction have to be really quick. I mean, when you crash, you have to gas at the right time. You got to turn at the right time. So it's a lot of concentration, and everything goes really fast. But it's the only sport that we're actually crashing in purpose. Every sport, I mean, they want to finish first, but we want the wow moment. So we actually sometimes go out of control to get that special moment where you get on one wheel and come back on four. So it's a really, I mean, it's a special sport, definitely.
Absolutely, and I think when you reference it to as a sport, I think that's absolutely right, because you're extremely fit. You're like, you know, you used to be like one of the big time CrossFitters, and now you're like in that it's kind of a combat-y type of sport, right? Where tell us about that.
I mean, a lot of people think you're just pressing on the gas and you don't really have to be fit, but it definitely helps. I mean, we travel a lot. Sometimes you have 4 or 5 show weekend, and like I said, you have to react really quick. And when you have that energy, you're just able to be more concentrate. And I mean, all those muscle help for all the impact. I mean, we do get a lot of impact. There's a lot of big crash. And I mean, even if we have the best safety, we have like a 7-point harness, we have all the safety, the best safety out there, there's still impact, and the muscle really help for, you know, not having any injury.
And of course, you're also in the NBC Titan games, where you're like, I mean, that's kind of like if the world was ending, like how you would have to survive. Am I right?
It is. I mean, I thought I was prepared when I went there, but I was not prepared. I mean, it is. You have to react really quick, just like in the monster truck. I mean, they start you on a point on the ground, and they tell you really quick what you have to do. You're not allowed to practice before, and you just have to go for it and just be quick, be strong, be fast. And I mean, there's some of the best athletes out there, and but it was a really, really good experience. It was awesome to get to meet Rock. I got to hug him twice. It was kind of cool. I mean,
yeah, you're like BFFs now with The Rock.
I wish.
I mean, he's like one of my heroes. Like, so.
Yeah. I mean, he's so humble. Like, he was more impressed to get to meet all the athletes than being him. Like, we were super impressed to get to meet him, but he was super impressed to meet us. So it was kind of funny. He was super humble, really easy to approach and talk to him.
And now we are streaming this live in my YouTube community. It's going to be it's being produced for a podcast later on. But so there are people who are watching this, and there's a couple interesting comments that have come in. Alan C says Cynthia must have a team of chiropractors. So do you have like massage therapists, chiropractors, acupuncturists that you always go to keep your body in check?
I mean, we do. Actually, when I used to do the arena tour, in the arena tour you race the Monster Jam ATV, the Speedster, and the monster truck. So it was way more action, and that was definitely you really need massage, especially between show. I mean, they used to have a therapist that would come, like, kind of loose you up before another show. Yeah, definitely. I mean, you have to take care of your body. I mean, this is my machine. Like, I need to have the best machine. I need to, eat well. It's kind of like the fuel I put in my body. So I definitely.
And of course, we're gonna drink whiskey this morning, which whiskey can be good for you. And you're in Canada, and I thought it would be such a cool opportunity to introduce people to Canadian whiskey, because Canadian whiskey is an entirely different category that I think is really, really misunderstood. And people in my world, in the whiskey community world, they tend to there's a lot of misinformation about Canadian whiskey. And the fact is, it is really great, and the best of it is in Canada, doesn't get sent down here to us. But they make whiskey completely different than we do here in the United States. So one of the things that separates them is that they distill the grains like individually, and then they blend them later, whereas here in the States, we distill the grains together. And they have a lot of blending techniques that are not practiced here in the States, and they have a law that allows them to add up to 9.09% of like different spirits or sherry, and that was really put on the books to help the taxation system here in the United States, but really that has allowed them to stand out in a different way and kind of create like their own like flavor profiles that have appealed to people for a better part of a century. Canadian whiskey is really, really popular. Now, do you drink a lot of Canadian whiskey, or what do you normally drink?
I like to try everything. I did my bartender class when I was younger, just for fun. But I do like to taste a lot of alcohol. I love gin. In Canada, we have a lot of those. But you know what? I'm not that much familiar with whiskey. I usually take whiskey when I'm sick. It's like an old grandma tricks. It's kind of like her syrup to get better. But I was curious because I really like the bottle, I really like the look, and they all look so different. So I'm curious.
Well, Well, I'm excited for you to taste these. Now, we're tasting here at 10 o'clock in the morning, or 10:30 in the morning.
There's no hour to drink.
So it's 5 o'clock somewhere, something like that. Now let's show everybody what the distillers had sent you. So these came straight from the distillers. So this is a Shelter Point, a craft distiller in Canada. It's another Shelter Point. Oh, no, this is Stock and Barrel. This is coming from Still Waters. Now, I met these distillers like 5 years ago in Toronto for what was then Whiskey Live Toronto. It's no longer happening. So it's kind of sad, but Canada has some of the worst laws when it comes to making whiskey.
Really?
So it's horrible. So this is lot 40. Now this is probably my favorite one that I buy regularly. Unfortunately, I don't have any in the office, and they didn't send me that bottle. So you're gonna have that all by yourself. But that's one you can find regularly in throughout the states.
It doesn't smell like super strong. Like I thought, like every whiskey were super strong.
Well, give it a taste. And ordinarily, I would take you through a little process of like how to taste, but you're a monster truck driver. I'm thinking like you do however it is however you normally drink it. And
this is funny. It's like it is you have kind of like a strong taste, but not like a strong alcohol taste. Like it's funny, but it feels good to the throat.
This one, Lot 40, is a whiskey that I always get a lot of spice out of.
Yeah.
So, like, if you feel like it's like a pepper spice,
Yeah. I actually feel like this one is nice to just sip on it.
Now, when you're on the road on your off time, are you having a cocktail? Are you having one of those gin cocktails, or do you stay relatively clean out there?
Yeah, I am. Well, it's hard to like be in the fitness and drink a lot, but I mean, I do drink when I'm home, but when I'm on the road, I try to not drink too much and just try to have the best energy I can.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, but I like to try. So if there's something that I don't have at home, that there's a new drink or a new alcohol that I don't have at home, I definitely like to try it. And I mean, I have a lot of friends from Tennessee, and
yeah,
they're always there to make me try new stuff.
Now, I just realized something. You said in your profession it's hard to drink a lot. In my profession, it's hard to drive a lot. So as a professional drinker, I don't drive a lot. I kid. But this is the Shelter Point. This is one. I don't think we should go with this one yet because this one is a smoky one, and when you have the smoke, you can really burn your palate out. So let's go to the 40 Creek, 40 Creek Barrel Select.
This one.
Yep.
This one.
Yeah, 40 Creek Barrel Select here. I'll sip this one with you.
Is there a big difference between the one that it's a twist cap and the one that have a...
The cork?
Yeah.
Yeah, so those closures, that's basically a strategy with however, they want to present their packaging. And it is, well, you just get right in there.
Yeah, definitely less spice than the other one, but it's still not like...
So this one is always like kind of creamy to me.
Yeah.
So like...
You don't have the taste doesn't stay as long as the other one. But it's pretty like mellow. It's not... It's good.
This is 80 proof. It's like easy sipping. It's kind of creamy, but it is going to feel quite a bit lighter. That's their That's their other version. Now the one I'm most excited to taste on the table is the stock and barrel one. This is a rye. I tasted this and it's so good. Yeah.
Okay. Let me ask my assistant to get me something to open it. He said, "Can you get me a opener?"
Is it on there pretty good?
Yeah, I need a knife, I think.
Now, one of the things you do in your spare time too, you also like paddleboard and you're on boats a lot, and
I got it.
Is that like what you do for fun?
Yeah. So I love doing sport, and so I've been doing CrossFit for a long time, but now I've been doing more boxing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, boxing has been fun because it's a lot of body weight. It's a lot of endurance. I mean, I had a lot of surgery, shoulder surgery, knee surgery from dirt bike before monster truck, and I have to be careful with the sport I practice.
Yeah.
Whew, I like the little puff. So.
Little stock and barrel. This is coming from the distillery in Toronto.
There's like a sugar taste to it.
This is it's 100% rye. It's 80% regular rye and then 20% malt, I believe. Let's double check. Yeah, that's what my brain is telling me. If I'm wrong on that, I'll.
Ooh, that one is
that pack?
It's the strongest so far.
Is it packing some heat for you?
Ooh, I would have to be careful drinking that. Definitely.
All right, so this is 80. This is 92 proof.
Whoa. This will take paint off your wall.
Yeah, so this is from Toronto. It's been out. This distillery's been out for about 10 years, and this is all of this rye grain that they're using in this is coming from Ontario. So you're looking at a 100% Canadian product distilled there, and
that's awesome. I mean it's good. It's strong. Like for 10 a.m. It's probably a little bit better to drink that at night.
Oh wow, to me this is a brilliant representation of what a 100% rye can taste like. I really like this one.
Open up.
If I were being a critic on this round of whiskey, I'd probably be picking this stock and barrel as my favorite.
Oh really?
Yeah, I really like it.
I really like the spiciness of that one. So
you really like lot 40.
So I did not wait for you. I'm already.
You're just jumping into it. So they didn't send me that bottle. So they're when I was talking to these distillers about that I had booked you as a guest, they were like so impressed because you're like a Canadian darling. They love you.
I mean, we don't have a lot of women in the. I mean, motorsport. Every year we get more women, so I think it's awesome, and I think we need to support each other. And I love racing against a girl, and we're usually really hard to beat when we race against each other. But I mean, I think we have like 12 women driving Monster Jam trucks, so I think it's pretty cool for me. I'm representing my country. There's not a lot of racer in Canada, so for me it's awesome to get to travel all around the world and with my French accent kind of represent the French part of Canada.
Well, you, like I said, like you are, it's more than that though, because you do so many other like sporting activities, and I think that you bring you bring a very like enthusiastic energy to everything you do, and you can just see it on your Instagram, and whenever you do interviews, you're just always so enthusiastic and like excited about life. And frankly, we need more of that in society,
Yes, we do.
So where does that motivation come from?
I mean, the passion for motorsport definitely comes from my dad. He's a mechanic. I used to spend a lot of time in the garage with him. He used to bring me to all kind of race. And I think the kind of more like powerful woman inside of me is from my mom. I mean, she always worked really hard to, get what she want. And I mean, I really have an awesome family. They give us good value, and I'm really thankful to have them in my life. My parents are still together, so it's kind of cool. My sister have 3 kids, and so I really think, I got that from my parents, but I also got that from just being independent and trying to do my own thing. And I started traveling really young, and I was kind of like, if you're telling me white, I'll go black. You know what I mean? Like, I'll just always try to find the other way and try to prove you wrong.
And you also have your own business, the metal pinup, so tell us about that.
Yeah, so, a couple years ago, I started welding just for fun. I really fell in love. I felt in love with the welding industry, the fabrication, and it was a hobby more for me. But with the COVID, it kind of became a business because I was not able to travel for Monster Truck, and I had all that equipment that I had for me for my hobby, and I was like, you know what, I could use to build my own business. And I kind of start slowly, and people were kind of curious, like, you're a welder? Like, because I studied to be a CPA, to be in accounting, so I mean, it's definitely different.
Well, that'll help when it comes to running the business. I'll tell you that right now, having a little bit of an accounting background. But
yeah, definitely. I mean, I love to do a lot of different things. Like, I'm always looking for, try to learn more stuff. And
so people can buy your work, though, correct?
Yeah.
Where can they buy it?
I usually do more local stuff. I don't really ship much yet because I'm starting, and it kind of pick up really quick. So I'm just a one-man show. So, but yeah, I have a lot of order and stuff at home. I have a CNC torch-made table, so I've been kind of loving playing with that. And it's because sometimes welding can be really a dirty job. So sometimes it's kind of fun with the plasma table. I stay kind of clean for a day.
Can you weld copper?
Yeah.
So, in all of these whiskeys are made by most of them are made by copper stills. And like these places that create copper stills, they have like the special welders in there, and like they're like gods because welding copper is so difficult. Do you find that welding copper is a little bit more difficult?
It is. I mean, everything is like have their own specific, like aluminum or I do titanium that I can barely pronounce, but they all have their little specification, but they're fun. Like I learned most of the stuff at Lincoln Electric School, and they actually like make you try all kind of different material, and that's where I kind of learned the first time.
That's awesome. Well, let's go to
try that one.
So which one are you on? Are you on the shelter point, smoke point?
Can't remember.
I think you picked the one that's closest to you in
yeah, exactly, that one.
With the orange label there. Yeah. All right. So I want to pour that for myself.
It's actually pretty good. It is pretty strong too, but yeah, really good.
Yeah, this has a very like a bit of a funky nose.
Yeah.
Kind of like a blue cheese or something.
Well, the taste kind of stay longer in your mouth, but it's not like a bad taste. Actually, pretty good.
Yeah, like some coffee notes in there for me.
Yeah, that's what my friend told me this morning. She's like, real whiskey drinker, they usually put it in their coffee in the morning.
Yeah, it's true.
So which one did we not taste?
We haven't tasted the Shelter Point Smoke Point.
Okay.
It should be like a black label or a grayish label.
Here you go.
It'll be smoky.
This one is really like, the smell is super like mellow. It's not. Oh wow. For somebody that never tried whiskey, that one is actually like super mellow.
You're the Shelter Point Smoke Point, made in Canada. This one, this is only 144 bottles of this were 1,044 bottles were produced of this. So this is a super limited edition one.
Really, that's awesome.
Yeah, so this are 1,500 bottles. I apologize. So this is bottle 545 of batch 2.
Sorry.
So do you have a favorite?
I would say, as far as like being smooth, I really like the last one, the smoky one. But I mean, I like the stuff that really tastes, and I really like the spiciness of the
Lot 40. Lot 40 did it for you.
All of them were really like good tasting. They were not like bad, like, you know, you just want to like not, just want to throw it, but they were all pretty good. Just, those are definitely my favorite.
That's awesome. And you know, the whiskey tasting experience, right, is it's everybody tastes differently. And so like and you taste different like on different days. So I would encourage you to try to taste these later tonight.
Okay.
or tomorrow, and see like how you react to them, because your palate in the morning is very different than it is at night, you know.
Awesome.
So you could get like a completely different tasting experience.
I'll definitely do that.
So what's new for you? What's next?
Well, I have a TV show in Quebec about motorsport. I actually have a filming so I'll have to leave in like around 5 minutes because I have a filming today. It's kind of last minute all the time, but it's kind of fun though. With the COVID, I don't have a really fixed schedule. But we try both. We try ATV. I mean, it kind of keep my adrenaline going.
How can we? So is it only in Quebec, or is there a way that we can watch it in the United States?
I mean, it's online, but it's in French, so it's kind of hard to translate it. But it's called Zone BL. You can find like all the video online, and I mean, on my Instagram, Facebook, I kind of post a lot of stuff too.
Well, we do have a few French speakers in the audience. I do know that. So we'll put a link in the description. So maybe some folks can watch it. But Cynthia, like I told you when I first booked you, my son and I we watch Monster Jam all the time, and I'll never forget seeing you like flip and all the sides of the truck just completely fall apart, and then you just jump out and you're like, that was fun. It was a great jump. And I was just like, I have to have her on my show.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy. There's so much that come to being a professional monster truck driver, but the fans are just amazing. Sometimes I have a bad competition, and they're always there, kind of cheer me on. And I mean, sometimes they're hard on you too on social media, but in the other way, they're kind of like my family. And being far from monster truck right now, it's not that easy, but they're there posting picture, and just they keep me smiling.
Well, I hope the whiskey gives you that little extra smile as you go into the next phase of monster trucking, and everything else you're doing. Everything else you're doing is amazing. So thank you so much for coming on the show. And be safe out there, and remember as you go out, remember, vodka sucks, Cynthia. Vodka sucks.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Thanks for having me on your show.
Absolutely.
And have all my friends try those whiskey too.
And you'll have to let me know their favorite.
Perfect. Definitely.
Cheers, my friend.
Cheers. Have a nice day.
Me too.